Hello developers. Today we're going to set up a LynxJS environment in our Windows machine. So as you see, that's the documentation they are providing. So we'll go with the quick start, and from there we know the requirements for the Node.js 18 or later, and also like previously we already set up LynxJS application, like we did lots of project using macOS. So that's the first time you're using Windows. So how we can create is a pretty straightforward: npm then run that command. So our main static configuration is here for the Android part, and for the Android you can see scan the QR code to download the pre-built app from the GitHub release. You can download from here, or you can just click on that particular segment, and there you can also take that explorer if you wanted to. So I'll go with that GitHub release here so I can find out all the properties here. You see the 3.2.0 RC1. This is a very good release mode. As you see, they are updating pretty much faster and so on. So you can go and feel free to explore a bit here to see the details. I would like to go here the assets directory here. Like as you see, for the other setup for macOS or Linux, you can just go and grab their property, but for this Windows you need to just click on that Lynx Explorer notion release.apk. You see that? That's the apk. You click on that, it will start downloading, and after download you're gonna find it here in that download folder. You see I have it here. So you do the same thing, you just click on download. So that one, the release one, so release.apk. so you need that apk, and how are you going to use it, I'll let you know in a bit. So first of all we need that. Okay, so after having that, so let's just go and create one application. I'm going to use that npm. So let's just go over here. I will open a my command line here. So let's open the terminal, and on the terminal the similar line of code which we have been done previously, we're going to do the same thing. As you see, you just need to copy that. Either you're using npm, yarn, pnpm or bun, doesn't matter, it will do the same thing, and it will create a new application. So we're going to create a new application. Let's paste that one, npm create rspd at latest. Now what the rspd and how it's work, if you having no idea, then just go forward to this playlist video. You can find a lot of things there which we already created by so far. Now of course I want to proceed, and after that now I need to provide the project name. So let's say LynxJS Windows, or we can say LynxJS Android. That's it. We want to go with the recommended version of TypeScript via me for code linting and formatting. Done. Our application is created. If we put ls, you see that application, it just happened to be created. Let's cd into that application and roid, and I'm going to open it in my code editor. You can use your any of the editor like Cursor or WebStorm, whatever you are preferring to use, you can use it. Now as you see, after doing that, it's a pretty simple straightforward application. I know there should be that iOS folder need to be there, and that Android folder it will be there. We're gonna cover it slowly because as you know, this documentation is getting richer day by day. They're updating, they're upgrading, and they're engaging a lot of things. So we'll go slowly, but we'll try to understand each and everything in a slow paced manner. So from here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my git bash here, and after taking the git bash, I need to install everything like npm install, and this is a very straightforward dependency to install. For now we need to go and set up our like how we can get the emulator, right? That is the pretty much good things we need to configure. So now in the documentation, it's a very not too much rich, but what is saying you need to have that one Android, you need to have that Android simulator, then you can run. So now what I recommend you to download that Android Studio, whatever. As you see now is the market is the latest one. You download the latest one and install. This is a very straightforward example, and you can follow through this setup of the React Native. They have a very good setup to understand what kind of things. That's the same thing, you need to go through it. That's the same procedure. So first you need to download and install that one, whatever is now in that latest one, and after doing that, I'm gonna do the simple things how you can follow through. Now you see I'm having my Android Studio right here, which is installed and working so far fine. I'm using the Ladybug. You can use the latest one by so far. Now as you see the three dot, click on that, and from there you can see the virtual device manager. So that's where all the devices, all the virtual devices which we have been created gonna hold. As you see, I already created one, but how we can add a new device, it's pretty simple. You see the plus icon, you can just click on that, and after clicking, now you can get the device specific region, whatever is you want to do it. Now I'm gonna check what I have. I have my Pixel 9 Pro. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a new device here, which gonna be, let's say, Pixel 8. Okay, next, and from here I would like to recommend you to take that vanilla ice cream, which is a 34 and Android 15 Google Play. So that's the one you need to go for, 86 underscore 64-bit. So vanilla ice cream 34 and enter. And also you can go in previous, you can see that images ratio here, you can choose any of the one, but this the one I recommend you to do that. Otherwise, because the APK which you're gonna receive, that's APK actually built it by 35. So if you have a lower level, it's very difficult to run that. So finish. Done. So now I have my emulator. So I'm gonna run my previous emulator, which is happened to be Pixel 9 Pro, and as you see, it's starting. And now, okay, as you see, the emulator is right here. Now it's ready for use. I can use it, and that will be having some glitch by so far, because you know the Windows that's happened to be having some problem every time. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open my which one we download. Remember, I'm gonna go there, download, and I'm gonna drag and drop this one here. That's it. Just drag and drop, and it's gonna install. You see the APK installer is automatically installed, and if I click, you see my Explorer is open like that. Very simple, very straightforward. So let's go back to my code and see if I can run npm run dev, if it is just starting here or not. Okay, everything installed, our SPD is running. So okay, the build is started, and after that I need to grab the URL. You see that URL, that's the one which I'm looking for. Copy that, and here I need to enter it, paste it here, go. Now I am here in my application, which is running in my Windows machine. If I go in my app.tsx, and now what I want to change a lot of things here just to see if it's working fine or not. So what I'm gonna do, instead of that React, let's say LynxJS in Windows. Save. Okay, it's taking a bit of time to take the action. And as you see, it's done. So means the changes is reflecting LynxJS in Windows. Now you can customize it, you can change it, and you can do it the way you are looking for, right? And also we're gonna do another thing is that I'm gonna close, or I'm gonna just minimize that one. Remember, we have another one which we just grab it using that I think if you go in virtual devices, where is our devices? I think it's open somewhere. Yeah, it's open. So now if I open that 8 API for 35 also, Pixel 8, it will also work fine. So you can try and you can like toggle through different devices. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close all of this, and even though I close, my emulator will keep on running. Okay, that's just a glitch, but it will keep on running. Now one of the e-commerce website which we have been dealing, I'm gonna bring it back here and run and see if it's running or not. I'm gonna close that one, and I'm gonna close this project from here, and then from the terminal, let's say from there, I'm gonna go in my project layer, and you see the LynxJS e-commerce. I'm gonna drop the link in the description for the GitHub repo. You can just grab it and just use it as your own program. So now let's say I'm gonna make that code space dot to open it in my code editor and run it here. Now all the dependencies here, so I'm gonna just simply go with that npm run dev to just run in my local machine. Here as you see, we're fetching products, we are doing a lot of things here. So npm run dev, and let's go back to our terminal here. Now from here, let's open that Lynx application again, and this time I'm gonna run this link which we are having this application, the same link, because same bundling going to happen. Now if you're using multiple application, that one you see that double three like 3000, it's gonna be 3001, same like the web application which we are doing. that will be, it will open two multiple instances in that application so far. So now as you see, our product is loading. You see that ratio, we are having the product. So that's the same thing, the application. This project repo link, it will be hooked up in the description, so you can grab it and run it in your application layer. Also, if our search bar, if I type, you see the input field is working perfectly fine, and by so far we can also, our routing setup also working perfectly fine. So you can see this, there is not it's not that much changes, but you know, the Windows setup, you can just go and run it pretty much in a good way. But there is one there is one problem is here when I'm running this application layer. The problem is coming up with that Lynx dev tool, and it's a very less resources for it. As you see, for the assets, I can get the Lynx dev tools for like DMG for like my Mac OS, and but for the Windows there is no other one, like no exe file which I can just get and grab my dev tools, and you can run it, get the source code and run it, but it's a very good hectic there, and it's very difficult to combine it all together, and that's why I love to go with my Mac OS, and I'm just running my like Android simulator emulator there with the Mac OS side by side with iOS. Both of that setup I'm gonna show you in the next video, but by so far you can see you can start running your application in that Windows machine. Doesn't matter, it can work perfectly there, and it will just seamlessly doing a very good job and very less environment setup. If you having any trouble, you can follow through the React Native setup also, that's the similar thing. And just remember, you need to go through whenever you are downloading, the API should be 35. If it's not 35, the app will broken, it will not open properly. So better to keep that in latest mode, 35, it will be okay. So all the best. If you having any problem, facing any difficulties while you are just engaging with that, let me know in the comments. I'll try to convince on that. And for the Mac OS setup, even though I made lots like several videos with that, but I'm gonna create an independent video where I'm gonna show how we can set up from the scratch in the Mac OS setup also. So all the best, do your best, and happy coding.